Well, hi, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. I am your host. I'm your MC, Platinum P, AJ Dex for those who's coming over from Instagram. And tonight, well, it is tonight that I'm sharing this with you. We're gonna get all the M's out the way because it is May and it's also Monday and it's also Mental Health Awareness Month. And mental health awareness is very important and near and dear to me. And I'm going to share with you for a moment of why it is important. So I'm going to take you back to 2014, May of 2014. So I had went to school and I graduated with my degree, baby. Yeah, my degree. It only took me 6 years. I was able to cram a 4 year degree into 6 years. How cool. But now I'm very proud of the fact that I was able to do that and I was able to do that without any debt. You can see previous videos of how I was able to make that happen. But I graduated from Youngstown State and I graduated with honors. And it was a couple months later, I ended up going to a cruise, vacation on a cruise. My family, shout out to my family. We ended up having fun going on the cruise to the Caribbean, through the Caribbeans, Grand Turks, um, Cozumel, Mexico. And again, having fun, celebrating, for me, graduating. And my sister also graduated from law school at that time. So it was a double whammy. And I was, very honored to be able to be in the presence of that as well. Shout out to my attorney slash sister. Yeah, we do a lot of shout outs for family, all right? Because family is everything. But so we on a cruise, and I'm gonna tell y'all this. Be real with y'all. I attempted suicide. I attempted suicide on my trip, and here's why. Here's why. I was really insecure. I was really insecure about at that time, you know, feeling like I was not good enough to women. Like just relationships wasn't going the way that I wanted to go. Just to come across women and a woman that I could date and I don't know if y'all picked this up, but I'm a bit of a romantic. Like I'm very much romantic. Probably there isn't not enough footage out there yet to show, but yeah, I'm pretty sentimental and very, I'm an emotional. I wouldn't say a basket case, but I do share my emotion. I'm a lot more comfortable now with my vulnerability to be able to share that with y'all. But at that time, in 2014, at the age of 24, not so much. And my insecurities almost took me out of here. I was on top of a balcony. Of course, the cruise boats be high off the water anyway. So I was leaning over the edge and had this internal battle in my head, this conversation. And I had to ask myself, I had to say, like, if you continue to allow this issue to make you feel so down and depressed and not worthy, you should go ahead and just, hop off, jump off right now. Now, I'm not 100% sure the initial plunge, maybe 90, 100 feet off from the waters would have killed me instantly, but I'm not a big, strong swimmer. That and being in those waters, anything could happen. And my chance of survival was definitely decreased if I was, follow through with jumping off, the railings. But I didn't. I chose to to battle the fight another day and to fight this head on. You know, some may be thinking like this person is, graduated with no debt, graduated with no loans, and yet was have this battle in their mind of not feeling worthy enough, not worthy enough, and how that affected me. And I was not aware of the gates, the gates that I needed to be on guard for. And it's going to be a three-part video talking about the gates, the ear gate, the eye gate, and the mouth gate, and how these gates help shape, in my perspective could be different from yours or anybody that is, out there in their journey dealing with obstacles and issues in their life. I'll just go give you my perspective on how mental health and confronting the demons that was really attacking my worth, my self esteem, my self image, and how controlling those ear gates really make a huge difference. It made a huge difference in my life and the trajectory of my life. Where instead of potentially ending my life at 24, I am now 33, and a lot has changed since then. And I'm very grateful for life, very grateful to be here, to be able to communicate with you for this moment. And again, it's going to be three parts. And the first video here is going to be talking about the ear gate and the perspective of whatever has your ear has your future. It's very interesting to how the ear gate and what we listen to and how much information that we take in on a daily basis, whether we are conscious of it or not, really affects us. Got my notes here, so I will share for a moment. I deliver mail. Some of y'all may already know that. So good. Doggone good. Some of y'all may know I deliver mail, and when I'm out there for as much as maybe 5.5, 6 hours on the street. And, with 5.5, 6 hours or so, sometimes longer because over time, it could be out there for as long as 7, 8 hours. And it's a lot of time besides delivering mail to do something. Like, typically people would message people, they would call people. And what I largely chose to do is I ended up listening to audios. I ended up listening to people that have success. That's not, and I know success is subjective, but people that has fruit on the tree, that has credibility and a strong agenda about how to create wealth, and not just how to create wealth for themselves, but how to create wealth for others. And these are the caliber of people that I listen to on a daily basis. And again, what has our ear has our future, and the ability to be disciplined enough to be able to take in that information, but also leave other information out. I was doing some research and how it's amazing the amount of messages that we hear on a daily basis. Again, it's gonna be from ranging from 3,000 to 20,000 messages, and it could range from ads itself that we hear. Um, it's insane the amount of information that bombards us, and if we're not careful of the information at the gates where that information goes, we can be swayed in a lot of different directions. And for me, and this will hit home for me, like me not knowing what information, all the information and like that could contribute to building or crippling my self worth, my self esteem. I didn't know, and I was not aptly aware. So I hope that this message will be able to be a wake up call to become more aware, because self awareness is the key to growth, and to become more aware of the information that is around us. We can determine, okay, we can tune this out, and we can pay more attention to this information. I'll give you an example. So, like I said, I went to Youngstown State and I graduated, and I use college as an example when it comes to credit hours. So to be a full time student at an accredited university, it's gonna be 12 credit hours, and doing the math here. So you have the actual class, then you have the prep hours. For every 1 hour that you're in class, is 2 hours of preparation. And for a full-time student, that's 12 hours. Now some people can do as many as I've done, as many as 17, 18, 20 hours, which salute to you. However, just for this example, it's going to be 12 credit hours straight, and it's 36 semester hours in a week. Okay. And it ranges, okay, in a full term from 15 to 17 hours, 17 weeks. I'm sorry. So let's do 16 weeks. So let's do 36 semester hours a week times 16 weeks. That is 576 semester hours in a full term. So now 16 weeks. Now, I didn't graduate with a bachelor's in mathematics, but doing some attention to detail here. That is six. Ooh, wow. 4, 8, 12, 16. That is 4 weeks. That's 4 months. Get it together, AP. Anywho, so that's amount of credit hours, 576 semester hours that I had invested into myself, by going to school, going to class, and by it's theoretical. Some people may have not done 2 hours in preparation. They might have did maybe an hour a week, and some people might not went to class. It's all those factors, but again, that's the number, 576 semester hours in a full term. Now, let's take again. I was listening to this audios on success. I did a lot more than 3 hours, but again, for the sake of argument, I've done as much as 6 hours listening to audios, but we're gonna do a average, and this is lowballing here. But let's say that did 3 hours a day. I work for at least 5 days. Sometimes I work six. Because I'm off Sundays, I never work 7 days a week. Now I don't. Thank you. Anywho, so at least 5 days. 3 times 5, 3 hours a day times 5 days is 15. 15 times 4 weeks in a month, that is 60. Now 60 times 12 is 720 hours. So let's compare 576 semester hours versus 720 hours of personal development. We'll call it personal development. 720 hours of personal development that was completely 100% optional. Again, I could have used that time for anything. We use that time for anything and everything. But, you know, What I've learned from gaining from personal development is the art of intentionality. Like, what are we are intentional about? Like, what are we becoming more disciplined for? Like, what are our whys? Why are we doing what we're doing? And for me, I needed to become a better version of myself. And what does a better version of myself entails? What does that look like? Well, there was plenty of habits that I had to unlearn to do in order to reinstall myself with habits and traits, like becoming more confident and being able to network more efficiently and more importantly connect with people, be able to better connect and these traits I ended up learning from people that again has credibility in these areas and also has an agenda that wants to help me grow as a person and as a business owner. So that's 720 hours. Now, I'm gonna leave this question to you. What 720 hours are you investing yourself into as far as hearing information? And do you think that 720 hours is an appropriate amount of time for you to see a difference in you one way or another, in positive or negative? Now, if I was to be asked that answer to me would be absolutely, positively sure. Because, and some people may not experience 576 semester hours, and that's fine. But what we do on a daily basis affects us and affects us in a way that we may or may not be aware of. But there's going to be a change for the better or change for the worse. And that's the importance of knowing what information you choose to take in and choose to mute out and to drown out. Because whatever has your ear has your future.